A duel disc soaked in Earthdamar, used to summon real monsters with the goal of destruction and showcasing power. Zwijo's brown duel disc will return, but not used by Zwijo himself, instead by Yudias. Hello everyone and welcome to Dueling with Downton, and today I'm here to bring you a wild idea / crack theory, the idea of will Yudias duel using Zwijo's duel disc. Now, if Yudias does in fact rematch Goha Yuna to regain his red duel disc back, then he's going to need a duel disc himself in order to duel, correct? I can see him possibly trying to use Yuumu or Yuhi's duel disc, or even transforming his ship into a duel disc for him to use. But after the Rovin duel, their duel discs are going to be worn out. Therefore, they're not going to be usable. But I can see a scenario where the threat isn't over once Rovin loses. Instead, Goha Yuna will step up, whether that's because she's pissed at Rovin losing in an unfair 2 versus 1 duel, or the show reveals that Goha Yuna is the final villain of this arc herself, and she has Earthdamar. Earthdamar? But how? But remember in episode 13, we see Ranran, first appearance, and MIK have a piece of Earthdamar in their possession. And now thanks to episode 21, we learned that Rovin's group has the ability to steal important items from MIK. So it's not out of the realms of possibility that if Goha Yuna is the real villain, bearing in mind Gohas in 7s were mainly villains, we could see her wanting more power. And just imagine her using Earthdamar on 7's Road Magician when it has that spear equipped spell card, and you have a 7's Road Magician wielding a spear running you through. That'll be some gory next level stuff. Now, one character within the series that has a heavy link to Earthdamar is of course Zwijo. And thanks to the bond between Zwijo and Yudias, I can see Zwijo entrusting Yudias to level up and defeat Goha Yuna. After of course seeing Yudias' struggles, because I can kind of get this feeling that Zwijo is secretly watching over Yudias, making sure he's staying on the path that he originally chose to go on, and making sure that his former comrade is still looked after well. Zwijo would see the struggles and hardship Yudias would be going through while crawling through the alien residency area. This would only reaffirm Yudias' kind of knowledge already that Yudias is passionate about dueling, passionate about saving Volagir using rush duels as a peaceful method. But even if Yudias does end up getting Zwijo's duel disc, thus having the ability to gain his duel disc back, I can see Yudias being conflicted about using said duel disc, as he knows the darkness that it once held and the destruction it once caused was soaked in Earthdamar, and this lingering fear might be in the back of Yudias' mind as to whether or not his monsters could get affected by the leftover residual effects of the Earthdamar that is embedded into the duel disc. Could there be a fear of, will his monsters cause more harm than good? Yudias is already struggling with his own ideals after learning that not everyone is kind and nice like UTS or MIK. But despite feeling hurt and sad about losing the duel to Goha Yuna and of course his duel disc, I don't sense any hostility or desire to hurt Goha Yuna from Yudias. And therefore, Yudias wouldn't want to have his monsters become real and deal physical damage to Yuna. Starting off the duel, if Yudias does end up using Zwijo's duel disc, I can see him dueling very cautiously. Until the turning point, in where Goha Yuna reveals that she has Earthdamar, thus causing pain to be inflicted upon Yuhi when activated. Making the hesitation from Yudias' mind vanish as he sees his friend in pain, and that to Yudias would be unforgivable, and we see a real duel unfold. But how would Yudias get this duel disc? Well, I can see that once Yudias reaches the top of the castle, bearing in mind, while the Rovin duel is happening, it's going to be less guarded. And with Yudias having superhuman strength and all of these shields and abilities slash powers, the Machu guards shouldn't be too much of an issue for Yudias. Once getting to the top of the castle, I would love seeing a bottle cap fly to Yudias' grasp, giving him movement, and a duel disc is flying through the air towards him. He catches it and says, "What is this?" And then we cut the camera to a long distance shot where we see a smirking Zwijo with that kind of shadowy effect on his face, saying that he's happy that his plan worked out, but then there's still the air of mystery about why he's helping Yudias. I just don't see why the show would showcase MIK having Earthdamar and then tell us that their security is kind of piss weak because they've had important items stolen from them by Rovin's bandits beforehand. Plus, we still see Requiem in the opening. Therefore, it makes me think there's still a high chance that we'll see some involvement from Zwijo in this arc. This way, Zwijo would be helping Yudias to not only duel, but also grow mentally, while showing that he does care about Yudias. But what do you think? Could you see Goha Yuna being the real villain and using Earthdamar, while Zwijo gives Yudias his duel discs to fight and reclaim what was once taken from him? Remember, Yudias thinks that rush dueling can bring peace to Volgir, and one thing that Yudias would need to do that dream is, of course, to have his own duel disc. And both Zwijo and Yudias want peace for their planet of Volgir, making it in both characters' best interests to help each other out in this situation. So let me know your thoughts on this idea slash theory in the comments down below. Do you think I'm making sense, or do you think I'm talking nonsense? I'd love to hear your thoughts, and of course, like the video if you did, comment your thoughts down below, subscribe if you're new for more Yu-Gi-Oh content, and of course I'll see you next time. Have a great day, alligator, matane, goodbye.